he's not just here for the top spot, he's here for the full win. Oh my goodness,
Welcome back to Kansas City, Missouri, where it is time for the team competition. It is one of the most loaded fields we've had all weekend, and it is going to be an intense competition. Course designers, as always, Donovan Matoyer, TJ Rayhawk, Caltran. Lots of innovative obstacles coming at you. Lots of old school classics as well. Exactly the kind of interesting course we were hoping to see. I'm Alex Cunningham alongside Jack Anderson. Jack, these teens are not here to mess around.
Alex, these teens are not here to mess around, and the Motus Ninjas course has not disappointed this weekend. We have been stunned by all of the incredible competitors here today, and we can just see those who have already qualified in the amateur division there, just some of the incredible names that we're going to be seeing at this year's Premier Series finals in November, and I'm excited to add to our teens list coming into today's division.
Yep, earlier today, if you missed it, we had 4 new amateurs on each side of the bracket qualifying to the Premier Series finals at Fair Oaks Athletics in Brooklyn, New York. That'll be on November 17th, 18th, and 19th. There's our teens that have qualified. And we have some world champions on this list. We have some incredibly strong athletes on this list. Jack,
Absolutely,
you and I have been
Alex.
commentating the teen division. Who catches your eye?
Oh, well, in my heart, I've got to go back to the Australians every single time, mate. It's cool. It's within my roots. You know, I see names like Josh Joyce, and you know Josh Joyce he's such a strong competitor. And that's the beauty of this competition is we bring together ninjas from all backgrounds, all different countries to come together into one central location at the end of this year to see who can take it out. So I think as we move through the UK, as we finish our US tour, and as we move into the European competitors and the Israeli competitors, I think we're really going to start to see this list build out and have 32 very fierce competitors looking to take out the top spot.
For sure, and a lot of these teens, bear in mind, are going to be competing in the elite division this upcoming season. The other ones will be aging into it next season. So for competitors like Sean Arms, Nathaniel Hanvu, Corinne Capriati, athletes that performed at a very high level at the World Championship, these are athletes that are going to continue to perform at a high level in the elite division up against the names that you guys are probably the most familiar with at home.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really exciting, and they're well-deserved every single time. You know, it's such a comfortable step up for these teens because they are so prepared and they're so good despite their age. I'm so excited to see what these teens have to offer today. Having commentated some of the younger divisions yesterday, it was so exciting to see some of the names pop up and just see how difficult this course is today. So as we step into these harder divisions and as we put the expectations higher, we're going to really see them push for their limits. And we can see there once again, the World Ninja League Premier Series Finals will be at Fair Oaks in New York, Brooklyn on November 17th to 19th. And Alex, I genuinely cannot wait for this event.
It is going to be so much fun. Well, we still have half of that field to fill out in our upcoming qualifiers, including 4 boys and whichever girls are able to complete the work requirement that will advance to Brooklyn. And just to give you all a reminder of what the format is, or if this is your first time, I saw a couple of first-timers in the chat. Glad to have you with us at the World Ninja League. Here's how things are going to work today. Each athlete will run 2 courses, starting with the placement course. That is your traditional format, just like you've seen it since 1997. You beat an obstacle, you move on, you fall, you're done. That's going to be a very short course, only 5 obstacles. And the 90-second time limit for that course really hasn't come into play much.
No, it's never really been a struggle point for these ninjas, but they definitely are fighting against one another in order to secure those top spots. And Alex, as we've seen week after week, for the most part, the order in which you run in that placement course has a huge benefit going into the challenge course, where it's a much more difficult course. It's a new style that we haven't really seen before at the World Ninja League, but I think it's one that we're loving at the moment. You get 2 retries for the entire course, a max of 1 per obstacle. So that means that if you fall, you get another go on an obstacle, which is very common for ninjas to use throughout these very difficult courses. It's a longer course. I think Motus Ninjas is offering one that really burns the forearms, and that, based on the results of that, it will determine our top 4 and also our winner for the team division today.
Certainly true. We've seen athletes sometimes fall earlier than expected on the placement course, come back and mount a scramble in the challenge course, and then we've seen on other occasions the top 4 in the placement course are the same and the top 4 in the challenge course. So really anything can happen. Certainly placing high in the placement course will give you an advantage heading into that challenge course.
Oh, absolutely. And it is worth noting that one of the beautiful things about this competition is we're bringing together the top 25% of ninjas. And what that means is that even if they make a mistake in that placement course, they're fired up and they're ready to go and they know how to bounce back from that adversity. I mean, yesterday we saw some huge upsets in the preteen division where some of the earliest competitors, such as Max Phantasma, came through as the first competitor in the challenge course and managed to come out with hold on to the first place position for almost the entire competition and come out with 3rd. So anything can happen here, and we can just see in the background some of the adjustments being made on the challenge course, which we will get to later today.
Yeah, that challenge course, you may be wondering if you've never seen a challenge course before, why are we letting athletes get retries? It allows for way more technical obstacles that are really popular with the ninjas, way more difficult obstacles, and we are really going to see the best athletes succeed. Everyone in this sport has fallen before they wanted to, and some of the different formats that the World Ninja League offers, even the ones that we only generally see during the regular season, create that environment where we really get to see the best ninjas come out on top. And I think that makes it a great viewing experience for everybody. But that being said, let's see those athletes that are going to be put to the test. We have 15 competing here in the teen division, 12 boys, 3 girls, and I think a number 1 to look out for is going to be Oliver Lutman.
Yeah, so much experience in these stacked lineups. I think every single day and every single division we're presented with new opportunities with these incredible competitors. And I think someone such as Oliver Lutman has an incredible resume and is someone who's going to have to be watched out for during this time here today.
If you don't know who Oliver Lutman is, Oliver Lutman has been to 3 world championships. He's won 3 world championships. At his first 2, he didn't fail a single obstacle. He was undefeated by any obstacle at the World Championships until the end of Stage 3 last year. Didn't get to compete this year due to some scheduling conflicts, but he is back here in the Premier Series, ready to show everybody what they've been missing.
Well, Alex, it's not something that you hear every single day. 3 times in a row, that's when you know you're able to back it up. Not only are you extremely talented and extremely gifted, and really hardworking in this, but if you come back 3 years in a row and just dominate the competition, you're a force to be reckoned with. So I think a lot of the other competitors would be scared to see his name up there on the leaderboards here today, but that does not mean he is guaranteed any form of position here today. We've seen many upsets happen throughout this series.
By no means. We're going to also see the number 1 ranked athlete in the Heartland division, Jeff Baumgarten. He's kind of been a little bit viral on social media in the past, and although he went out early at the World Championship, that is going to give him quite a bit of motivation coming into this competition. Trains out of the Folsom barn, and we have seen those rare few that get the privilege of training out of that Folsom barn really succeed here this weekend. So we'll see if Jeff can continue that trend.
Yeah, and even someone such as Graham Ogden, it's incredible to see that he placed 5th in the World's Strongest Ninja for the 2022 World Championships. So just accomplishments such as those and making it to Stage 2 in this year's World Championships. It's a stacked lineup, Alex, and that's what I love about this series, is every single week we're just seeing great competitors after great competitors come together just to fight it out for top 4 spots, really. It's such a marvelous format.
Certainly true. And over on the women's side, speaking of athletes that made it to Stage 2, Sydney Smith made it to the second to last obstacle of stage 2, finished 16th in the world at the World Championships. She will be preceded by Kenzie Hughes, one of the top athletes in Chicago, male or female. You can see 6th in the power ranking. That's out of, I don't know the exact number, but I'm guessing hundreds. So a very high caliber athlete. She was ranked 2nd in the North Central a season ago. And a bit of a wild card to us, Helena Smith. I saw a lot of people getting excited for Helena's run in the chat. She's going to be running first, and an athlete that made it to the end of stage 1. So hoping to get her name onto the scene here. And we've definitely seen the Premier Series has created some wild cards that come in and surprise us and really show that they're some of the best.
Absolutely, Alex. I mean, sometimes the resume helps. Sometimes it helps to have a great deal of experience. Yesterday in the pre-teens division, we saw KK Andrews come through, of course, one of our world champions, an absolutely dominant competitor, continue to dominate that field. But then we've seen other times where other competitors really step up in that moment and manage to secure the win. So it's really only time will tell, Alex, and that's what we're here to find out today.
Well, I am looking forward to it. I want to highlight a couple other athletes over on the boys' side while we have a moment. Several athletes have made it deep into stage 2. Now, this teen division, only one athlete beat stage 2 at the World Championship. So, sometimes in divisions we talk about, they beat all 3 stages, they made it deep into stage 3. Making it to stage 2, period, was an accomplishment in this teen male division. And getting deep into stage 2 is an even bigger accomplishment, just like Ellis Rothke did. Although he didn't compete much during the regular season, made it to the second to last obstacle of stage 2, finished 17th in the world.
Well, yeah, I think in anyone's books, making it to stage 2 just shows that you mean business. I think as long as you can make it to stage 2 in any world championships, that's something to hold your head high about. And it means that when you're coming into a course like today, which is arguably, for the challenge course, it's a format that we've never really seen before, where these competitors are really being pushed to their limits and they're allowed to take those retries. I feel as though those who have gone deep into stage 2 know how to kind of deal with the endurance nature of Ninja, and they'll probably have the highest level of success here today.
And we've seen kind of a tactical retry, so to speak. Sometimes the athletes just get caught in no man's land and decide not to burn their energy. But what I find more interesting is we've even seen a couple of athletes this weekend just try something really aggressive that they wouldn't ordinarily try if they, only had one shot at the course. And whether they get those moves or not, it always makes for an exciting moment.
Yeah, and one thing worth noting, Alex, is that in this challenge course, usually there's only around 3:15 on the clock, and we'll see what time limit that is today, but they're always being pushed to their limits. So you will see those aggressive plays. You will see ninjas really battling it out and trying to do those aggressive moves that can save them time. Because at the end of the day, the clock stops when that competitor falls and they get to reset the obstacle, have that little bit of a rest break. So it's not too much of a time sacrifice, provided they didn't make it too deep into that obstacle. So we will see innovations, and I think that's what we love about this series, is competitors aren't afraid to take a risk, and usually more often than not it pays off and looks really cool on camera.
Certainly true. I do want to make mention, by the way, I've been really enjoying watching this course in all of the divisions, even the ones I haven't been on commentary for, because this course is just so innovative. It's a lot of obstacles that we've seen at Worlds and a lot of brand new obstacles just kind of put into different packages. And I feel like we've really hit the sweet spot in difficulty where we're probably going to see clears today, but they're definitely going to be well earned.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best courses that we've seen all throughout the Premier Series finals. I mean, the course designers, we saw them at the beginning of the intro to this series. I mean, they have really done a number and done incredible in designing a course that is perfectly balanced, I would argue. There's difficulty all throughout. It's a forearm burner, so you have to have that endurance behind you. And then it ends on a 10th and final technical obstacle that is really difficult to complete. So these positions will be well earned. It is definitely possible for a completion here. And yeah, it's just such an exciting run to watch every single time, because these ninjas really have to fight for it, as we now gear up, Alex, for our first teen division competitor, Helena Smith.
And she is underway. We mentioned in the intro, Helena, by her own admission, fairly new to Ninja, but still putting up an impressive resume. Made it to the end of stage 1 at the World Championship. Looking to, give a great run for her supporters out there in the chat. And this balance obstacle has kind of become a surprise crux point of the course. And we see Helena just come out there on that middle peg.
Alex, it's proving to be something that's surprisingly difficult for our ninjas. Philip was mentioning yesterday that those edges are quite curved. They're not very nicely tapered off, and as a result, you can slip when you're not careful. We're just seeing some footage of another ninja who came out on that exact same point. That's going to knock out the wild card to begin with. She will likely be running first as we move on to our next 2 female competitors.
Now, the good news for those girls is all 3 of those girls can qualify. We will let you know how when we get to the challenge course. But coming up next, Kenzie Hughes, 6th in the power rankings in the world, 2nd in the North Central, an athlete that has performed at a very high level for a number of years. We didn't get to see her at the World Championship, but we're getting to see what she's all about today.
Yeah, and I love this first obstacle, Alex, because it's just doing the links. It's a basic lâché obstacle, and it's really settling the ninjas into what is going to be a very difficult course here, as Kenzie is now navigating the balance that Helena just fell on earlier.
Careful! You really got to hit those Bosu balls in the center, or you really got to have good balance to save it. And she did, in fact, save it as she makes it onto the nunchuck lâchés. Looks like those are drop chucks also.
Yeah, I'm very happy that we saw that through. I would hate to see all 3 of our female...
Oh, she's good! She avoided
I think that wasn't picked up by the ref, Alex.
Get
to see...
We'll have to check the replay. In the meantime, onto the Aussie grips. It looks like that first grip has been subbed out for a switch grip. She'll have to grab one hand on each side of that block and then over to this yo-yo made by Aussie grips in Australia. And she gets the center of that. Very precise. Grab, can't get the next one, though.
And it is worth noting that we've been told that those distances have been made even further from previous divisions, so these ninjas really have to fight to secure their hands on those Aussie grips. But all round, a great run by Kenzie Hughes, almost coming out there on the balance, but recovering and securing herself a really strong position. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what Sydney Smith has to say about it all.
This has definitely been one of the tougher placement courses this season. Those Aussie grips at the end are just vicious. Such a precise grab. You really have to find your finger placement not only vertically, but horizontally. You really have to catch that in the center. If you're even a millimeter too far in front or too far behind, it's going to tip out on you.
Well, Sydney Smith is now coming into it, and she knows what she needs to be. She needs to get to the Aussie grips and hopefully make it through and be our first completion here for the teen female division as she begins her assault on the lâché lane.
Very quickly
and just
through.
Now moving into the balance.
Making sure to hit all of these balance elements right in the center as she makes it through.
There.
Saw a moment ago, these chucks, when they're caught, drop down about 3 inches. So a lot of hand grip required to be able to catch those as she approaches the next last obstacle with a minute to go.
Yeah, this definitely is one of the tougher placement courses we have seen, and it's mostly as a result of this final obstacle here. The Aussie grips lane is brutal here. You've got to make these quite difficult lâchés. As Alex said, you've got to time it perfectly, and unfortunately, Sydney Smith will conclude her run. I believe that is our top time, though, Alex, for the teen female division.
We will have to check, but those Aussie grips, so incredibly difficult, like we mentioned. We are going to see very few beat that obstacle as we move through our remaining competitors, both in teens and elites.
Well, I think those Aussie grips are a good taste test for what is to come in the challenge course as we look at our run order for the teen female division. Sydney Smith with a 36.44 with 4 obstacles completed, followed by Kenzie Hughes just coming after, and then of course Helena Smith. As we now move into our teen male division, Alex, with Oliver Lutman stepping up to the plate. A big reputation on the line here.
3 world championships. The only athlete in any division to claim 3 world championships. There are some with 2, only one with 3, and you are looking at that man. Thankfully for the elites, he still has one more year in the team division as he makes his way through balance. I bet he's going to link these. He does.
Yeah, this is real world champion material here, everyone. Those drop nunchucks are no easy feat. As we now come into the final obstacle on the placement course, Oliver Luttman making light work of this obstacle. But can he stick the final lâché here, Alex?
He'd be the first in this division to do it, but he comes up a little too far behind there. And when a 3-time world champion goes out on an obstacle, you know it is difficult. We mentioned in the intro, he's only ever failed one obstacle at the World Championships.
Yeah, the Australian Aussie grips are definitely devastating our competitors here today, even a 3-time world champion like Oliver Luttman. But it is worth noting he got there at an incredibly fast pace. So even though he may not have gotten that course completion, he will be having a really good seeded time coming into that challenge course.
Next up is Cohen Dahlstrom, 14 years old. Very quick, low links. That's going to save him quite a bit of time. Skipping that last bar kind of slides out on him, but he's okay.
Cohen now being extra careful on the balance.
Yeah, he skipped that middle peg, and I think that just threw off his momentum. But one more look at those links.
Very fast in the lâché lane, but the balance is another component. You can see how slippery it is there as his feet just came unstuck right at the end there.
Well, thankfully, all of these athletes will get to take on the challenge course later today, and we will get quite a bit more chance to see what Cohen's all about. But coming up next, Ellis Rothke, one of the very few athletes who made it to the second-to-last obstacle of Stage 2 at the World Championships.
One thing I love about this teen male division, Alex, is every single one of them is just such a stacked competitor. You know, you list out the resumes of these individuals and they all begin to blur together with just how amazing they are. As Ellis now begins on the balance where everything can come unstuck if you're not careful.
Making sure to use every peg and then quickly through the inverted Bosu balls. I was a little bit worried there, but he managed to get through.
And now we can move into the strength-based part of this course as Ellis is up to the spinning sonic curve. We haven't seen people have too much trouble with that. But this last obstacle, Alex, this just took out our 3-time world champion.
And I like what he did. He sped through the first 4 obstacles to put up a good time here, so he's going to have a late run order no matter what. And then taking a second to slow down his heart rate, chalk up. Let's see if he can catch this UFO. He can!
He gets it!
And he is our first finisher of the placement course with a time of 50 seconds. What a run by Ellis.
What a run, Alex. All around an incredibly strong performance there, which he scared us on the balance beam there, but the rest of it was incredibly strong and a very dominant run all around. I don't know if we're going to see too many finishes today on this placement course, so Ellis can be really proud of that effort, and you know he's going to be placed well coming into that challenge course.
We'll see him quite a bit later on, and in all likelihood, he is going to know what he's going to need to do to get into the top 4 to get to Premier Series finals. So a huge advantage for Ellis Rothke going into the challenge course as we have a hometown ninja from Motus Ninjas right here, Kellen Williams.
Kellen placed 4th in the Heartland region this season, an absolutely feared competitor, and of course having that home court advantage of having trained at the Motus Ninja gym for a while now. And I believe it's an early upset there, Alex.
Yeah, we saw that happen quite a bit in some of our younger divisions. This is a pretty far jump to a cliffhanger ledge. It's not like grabbing a bar. You really have to rely on your finger strength when you catch those because you can't grab it like we naturally want to grab objects. So you really have to fight that instinct in you as we see Chase Hughes trying to show us how it's done.
Yeah, sometimes those nerves can get the better of you, but it's not getting the better of Chase here as he is racing through that first obstacle as we now move into the balance. A place where it's not where all ninjas love it, but it's an essential component of the course. And now he can breathe a sigh of relief as we get into the X gonna give it to you obstacle.
I love the name of that. Well, Chase made it to the second-to-last obstacle of Stage 2 at the World Championship back in June, just like Ellis did. We'll see if he can match Ellis's feat here by beating the Aussie grips. He'd be the second today.
Yeah, these Aussie grips are a real pain point for these ninjas. This second grab is the make or break point for Chase Hughes.
Oh, and he came up
just
too far
misses it,
behind.
Alex. Oh, you can see how pinpoint that has to be there. Chase Hughes throwing down an incredible run up until that point, and it looked like he was going to get it. He was confident on that first grab, but just couldn't quite get the execution on that second one. Just a bit too far, and it just cost his run. He knew it before he'd even fallen.
I'm almost starting to wonder, because he was pretty close to the dismount there. I'm starting to wonder if somebody's going to try to skip that last yo-yo.
I hope they're not listening, Alex, because that could potentially happen. You could be giving away the trade secrets here today. It would be a big lâché, and I guess you do risk hitting your head, but we will see what Hunter Stanfield has to say about that. Maybe he was tuning in right before he begins, and he is flying through some of the most powerful links we've seen here today, really getting that height and great display of technique. As we come into the balance beam, Alex, where it can all come unstuck.
Ooh, he's got to be really careful, though. He's pretty wobbly, but... just came up too far in front on the Bosu balls, and his momentum took him off.
It's not the place that you want to come out on a ninja course, because you know you have so much to offer in the upper body department, but it is so important to train balance on a daily basis as a ninja, because it makes up a staple part of every single course. And unfortunately, Hunter is going to join our list of victims, falling a little bit earlier than they would have liked, Alex.
Hopefully Chase McCambridge will not be one of them. Number 2 athlete out of the Heartland region, another Motus athlete. There are 2 Motus facilities, actually. One on the Kansas side of Kansas City. This one here is on the Missouri side of Kansas City. Chase made it to the final obstacle of stage 1. That was the throwback, and that took out so many athletes in all of the divisions.
Yeah, I think that final obstacle did take out a list of competitors. I think as we look through the resumes of so many of these great competitors here today, stage 1 on the final obstacle seems to be where a lot of them came unstuck. But Chase is looking strong on this course.
I think he's good. It was hard to tell from the
camera
camera angle, but he just barely caught the edges of those Bosu balls.
Well, now Chase can really get into the pointy end of this placement course. And again, almost coming unstuck there, Alex, but it looks like he's safe, and it looks like we're onto the Aussie grips. If he can make it through this, he will be within the top 2 seeded competitors here coming into the challenge course. He's just got to get through these brutal Aussie grips supplied by Australia.
And again, slowing down his heart rate, testing the trampoline. He knows that he has plenty of time, but you can see there, even when you have it right in the center, you have that kind of blockade at the top. You are required to grab the bottom disc of that. So if you grab it a little bit too high, it's essentially blocked. It's like a 3D special delivery hold almost.
Yeah, as we were told yesterday, Darren Baker from Australia actually provided those grips during his trip out to Motus Ninjas, so they've just become a staple part of the course now, and they are proving to upset so many of these ninjas here today, as we have Graham Ogden stepping up to the plate.
Now, Graham finished 20th at the World Championship. We also have the World's Strongest Ninja competition at the World Championships, where athletes have a combination of their course runs and their skills events. So that he finished 5th shows that he has a lot of potential and really did fantastic in those skills events.
Absolutely. You know, World's Strongest Ninja is just as big of a feat as the actual competition itself, and it displays a great sense of strength here as Graham is moving through this course. He also placed 4th in the Northeast region this year. Again, another incredible accomplishment to add to his experience as he lines up to be our potential second competitor here to complete these Aussie grips.
Yeah, wasting no time going right into them. No, making the catch just barely with 3 fingers on his left hand grabbing it. Not even adjusting, he's just going right for it. And he does it again!
And he gets it!
What?
Alex, what did we just witness?
Apparently you don't need all 5 fingers on your hands. Graham Ogden, in under a minute, defeating this course. And a very interesting strategy on that last obstacle.
An exceptional display of strength. When he was gearing up for the lâché with those 3 fingers, I was like, this cannot happen. but he managed to do it once again when he caught it. Just showing us, trying to make the course harder for himself, I guess, Alex, because he needs that challenge.
What a run. Well, Sean Miller with that act to beat, coming out of Chicago, the Ultimate Ninjas franchise, loses the hat, gets in his way a little bit, but he's powering right through.
Yeah, was almost playing keepy-ups with his hat there in the air. Placed 5th in the North Central region.
Oh, careful! Oh, he hit the post. I think that's going to be a ref checking.
I think
Run
ref
still
has waved
active.
a flag
We will check. So likely, I think we saw a yellow flag go out. That means that this will be video reviewed, but the run continuing. Generally, unless you're 100% sure you want the athlete to continue, put up a run, and then you can go back and make those kind of judgment calls. Prevents us from having to give any reruns.
Well, Sean Miller, an exceptional competitor regardless. He's doing well in this course so far. Oh, and just didn't make it on that final Aussie grip there. Again, showing once again that you've really got to be pinpoint with your precision there. And we'll get to see him keeping up his hat there, beginning his assault on the balance where so many ninjas have come unstuck. So we'll have to wait and see on the review there, Alex. It'll either be a well-placed run or perhaps early in the run order.
Remains to be seen, as we are on now to our final three competitors. First up, Jeff Baumgarten, another athlete who trains out of the Folsom Barn, as well as Ultimate Ninja St. Louis. An early exit in Stage 1, very uncharacteristic for Jeff at this year's World Championship, so he will be looking to show what he is all about here today.
Yeah, and well, as we're learning, if Jeff can make it and complete this course, he will automatically secure himself a spot in the top 3. Now, only 2 competitors have completed this brutal placement course thus far. It's not something that we're used to, Alex, but Motus Ninjas has really delivered this week with an outstanding placement course that is really pushing the best of the best. And now Jeff begins his attack on the balance beam, an obstacle that is proving to be so difficult for these ninjas here today. But he's
the good news
strong.
is Jeff definitely has the balance locked in. He and Jamie Ron, who got his start in parkour before becoming one of the OGs of Ninja, both had a game called Stick It or Lick It, where you have to make a precision jump onto an object, and if you don't stick it, if you shake or if you fall off, you have to lick it. So a lot of pressure, and Jeff made a whole lot more sticks than licks.
Well, Jeff is looking so strong here as he lines up for the Aussie grips. This is the make or break point. A great first lash A.
Oh, and he had the second one but couldn't hold on.
Oh, so strong there. I actually genuinely thought he was going to hold on to there, Alex. But all round, he had a great time coming into that point. Probably the most poised we've seen anyone on the balance beam there. And yeah, once again, the Aussie grips just coming unstuck there. We get to see this grab once again. And just coming unstuck, Alex. It looked like the perfect grab.
I mean, he grabbed it exactly where he needed to. The downside is then you need to hold on, and that is a lot easier said than done.
And you can see that it's going to put him in 6th, 7th place, just showing once again how competitive this division is as we gear up for one of our final competitors here in this teen male division here, Ellery Lenz.
Also made it to the end of Stage 1, coming out of Warrior Sports, another gym here in Missouri. Getting a little bit wobbly on the Bosu balls, but he slows down his heart rate. He slows down, and, tortoise in the hair, slow and steady wins that race.
Yeah, now looking really strong
Ooh,
here. We haven't seen anyone come out. Yeah, I love that approach there, just going straight for the reach with one arm.
Yeah, one hand after the other. Pretty inventive, but it works as he looks to be our 3rd teen athlete to defeat the Aussie grips. Ooh, good catch, though.
This is looking strong, Alex. Coming into the second. Oh!
And he got rejected by the top disc. Otherwise, he would have had it.
And he runs for the buzzer there, right at the end. What an exceptional run all round. Ellery Lenz getting the first grab and looking so confident there. And just coming unstuck on that second one. It really is that second one that's proving to be more difficult than what we expected, as we see his name join a list of competitors who got to the fourth obstacle here. Only 2 completions so far, Alex, as we come into our final competitor.
It's Nathan Hahn, part of the Hahn family of ninjas. Their dad, Chad, and his mom, Jennifer, who's one of our great partners at the World Ninja League, run Level Up down in Thomasville, North Carolina. I guess up from the St. Louis area. But we also see brothers Blake and Nathan on this course quite frequently. Nathan, an athlete with a 13-foot lache, and finished first place in the Southeast region in the regular season.
Absolutely. Nathan has an incredible resume coming into today. He's been doing ninja now for over 6 years.
Ooh.
And it's
Good save! Great awareness!
Good save there. Incredible awareness by Nathan Hahn. And now we are gearing up for the Aussie grips, Alex. This is a make or break point for so many of the ninjas here today. If Nathan can complete this obstacle, he will secure himself a spot in the top 3 coming into the challenge.
But he's not able to hang on to that first one. I think he had the right idea, just maybe didn't get far enough into that bottom disc.
Well, Nathan set a great time up until that point, and that's going to do him well coming into the challenge course.
For sure.
As we see, once again, an exceptional run there, taking a bit of time on the balance, but really making sure of it. And then that great recovery there. Somehow his leg didn't hit the ground there. I'm so blown away. And then just coming short on the Aussie grips there, Alex.
Well, Nathan looking to claw his way into Premier Series finals. He previously competed back at Motive, but looking to get top 4 here today at Motus. I know, there's a Motive and a Motus, it's confusing. But that concludes our placement course for the teen division. And you see right there, only 2 finishers, Ellis Rothke and Graham Ogden.
And not even Oliver Lutman himself completed that placement course, which goes to show how a 3-time world champion can even be taken out by some of the toughest courses that we've seen so far in this series. Alex, I think we're seeing a bit of a trend here where people came out on Obstacle 5 and people came out on Obstacle 2, the balance and the Aussie grips proving to be the killers of this course. But all round, some real upsets there, some real surprises, and hopefully we can take a look at a few of these runs now.
I would love to, as scoring adjustment made. They have ruled Nathan Hahn out on that spinning sonic curve. It looks like he touched with his foot.
Well, that's going to be our first competitor out on that obstacle. You know, it's really great that they review those things. They let the competitors complete their runs rather than us having to do a rerun, as you mentioned before. But hopefully we can pull up our top runner here today, Eli Rothke. That was an incredible run there. For 50 seconds. It's really hard to even put into words how dominant he has been here today with that time.
Taking one more look. Perfectly steady through the balance. Got a little bit wobbly on those Bosu balls, but from there, he linked almost everything. Obviously, you can't really link those yo-yos, but he did the minimal number of backswings that he needed. And that saves you so much time on so many obstacles, and something that we try to teach athletes in this sport as young as they get. Don't take more swings than you need because it just chews up time.
Absolutely, and someone who didn't chew up any time at all was Oliver Lutman here with a 27:35 up to obstacle 5. You know, that means that is a seriously quick time there, and hopefully we can pull up that run because he was an exceptional competitor. You know, coming into this, he has such a strong resume, and to be placed as our third and final competitor for the challenge course, he's going to be well seated to see 7 or 8 competitors go before him and hopefully make some mistakes for him.
I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah, we mentioned at the top of the show, Oliver, a 2-time completer of Stage 3, but more importantly, a 3-time world champion. So he definitely thrives on these speedy and powerful obstacles, but he happened to run first by the random draw on the placement course and just came undone on that last obstacle, but still great wherewithal to fly through those first 4 obstacles and get himself a great running position in the challenge course.
Absolutely, and there's a few kind of underdogs all throughout, Alex. I mean, we are actually now ready to throw to an interview, I believe, Alex, which is an exciting part of this new format that we're working with.
Very true. We will send it down to Donovan Matoyer, who's standing by with Sydney Smith.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Sydney. I think I need a boxing talking to him, so I'm short here. So, Sydney, what's the obstacle you're looking forward to the most on the challenge?
Probably the roller coaster flying squirrel. I like high flying,
And that's definitely where it's at on that one right there. So, also with the challenge course, what's going to be your strategy going into it?
Probably just to go fast but pace myself so I don't get too tired and try not to pump out.
That sounds like solid advice, and I hope she executes her game plan. Guys, back to you.
Oh. Yeah, I always love to see these in-person interviews with competitors. You know, yesterday in the pre-teens division, we had one of the athletes just worried about not losing his hat, and that was his strategy. And as we can see here, we would like to pay a nod, Alex, to our sponsors, of course, DGS Ninja, responsible for creating some of the most incredible obstacles that we use every single year at our World Championships.
No battering for the ladies. We have to steady every single, don't have your pump over there. When the guys get there, it's going to take all of us to get those side quick. So it's not something you can get a lot of rest. Hey, Abby, the reviews are done if you want to do the run over. Thank you. It's ready?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Jeff. It's getting so big now. Jeff, what's your game plan going into the placement?
So my plan was pretty much just take it as fast as I could with making sure I could get through at least most of the obstacles because I knew it didn't matter too much, but it could be a big benefit to run later on in the next course. So I just want to try my best to give myself the best run order for the challenge course.
Man, you were linking those shades and it looked pretty good. What on the placement course? What was the most challenging obstacle? They gave you the most trouble.
As many of you guys have probably seen, the yo-yos were by far the most challenging obstacles. Super fun, but just you had to be really precise with where your hands were. So really neat obstacle.
Yeah, so he was right. Those yo-yos are pretty tight. You have to get that precision down packed on it. So hopefully he can put it all together in the challenge course and see how he does. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Donovan, and
Alex.
hopefully I know how to operate a microphone this time.
Yeah, unfortunately we had a muted mic there without one of us realizing. Just one of the technical difficulties that we're always working through and evolving with at the World Ninja League. Alex, once again, we're going to just pay a quick nod to our sponsor, NinjaWorks, our timing systems here at the World Ninja League, an absolutely incredible sponsor that we've worked with for so many years now and look forward to working with in the years to come.
Okay, testing. Am I coming through now? Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's try this one more time. The World Ninja League Premier Series is powered by NinjaWorks. NinjaWorks is the ultimate in ninja timing systems, bringing the full experience to ninja gyms across the globe. From ninja training, ninja classes, competitions, birthday parties, and more, NinjaWorks has you covered for all your ninja timing needs. With all the features you could want, the NinjaWorks timing system features a buzzer, timer, sounds, lights, and more. The World Ninja League is proud to feature NinjaWorks as our official timing system. With the help of NinjaWorks, the World Ninja League is able to track and publish results live during competition for our community, provide our facilities with the best competition tracking and timing system, and provide our athletes with amazing season stats. We are so excited to power our Premier Series with the help of NinjaWorks. If you're interested in bringing NinjaWorks to your gym, email info@ninjaworks.com. And of course...
Absolutely. Thank you, Alex. We're really glad to finally have it now working. And we're going to throw over to a course rules video to help everyone understand what we're going to be dealing with here in this challenge course. So we're going to throw over to that just now.
Welcome to the premier competition that we have here at Motus. We're going to go over the placement course when all the groups get here. But this is going to be this is going to be the rule set for the amateur, teen, and elite group. You're going to start right here on this gray piece of carbon bonded foam. We're going to give you a 3, 2, 1. Your goal here is not to go over these boxes. You want to lift. You probably should come on this side if you will.
Sorry.
You want to lift over here where the green is. Keep your fingers in here and then lift. Once you lift it up as far as you want to go, it'll stay there. You just go under. Again, if you don't want to lift it super high, you don't have to. It'll stop there. And your last one is a little bit heavier. Lift. Go under. Once you come into contact with this pad, that's your point for that first obstacle. Once you clear the plane. Next, you're going to walk or run your way over here to this incline board here. Only the green is in play. You can't grab anything black. And your goal is to get to the ring that's going to be over there. So I recommend going forward. Again, you cannot grab anything black. Once you get to the end here, you're going to reach out, grab this ring. Land on the green box here. The plane on this one, just so we're clear, is this. This is the start finish. So just make sure you clear this and stay on the box. Start finish platform. Don't fall off. Next, cliffhanger. For the elite ladies, you all are gonna start. This won't be a start finish at that point, but to the ladies, you're gonna start on this cliffhanger here. Everyone else, you're starting down here. Use whatever cliffhangers you want to get up there. Your goal is the green box at the very end. Right here. Landing platform. That's it for the cliffhanger. Next, you're going to be doing the jumping spider. You want to land on the green box. At the very end of this one, you can go straight, you can go up. You just have to get all the way to this green box here. Now to start finish, so once you land here, you can touch the ground. After this, you're doing the roller coaster slider down to the 2 Da Vinci arrows. The adults, you guys have to land on the longer green box. The other green box won't be there for you, so you won't get confused. Well, yes, it will, because you need to get to the rope. But the elites, you guys are dismounting to the right, to the small box. I'll show the elite version. Then you guys should just dismount here. After you land there, or at least after you land here, and teens and amateurs there, you guys are going to start here on the next obstacle. You can use the rope to make it up to the devil steps. For the elite ladies and the teens,
And the amateurs.
It's the hourglass will already be placed on the cradles. You just have to make the shade to the eyeglass and then to the eye of the bullseye. And then you can go all the way down this road to the hammers. The one is in a normal orientation, the other one is backwards. You can grab whatever you want to on the hammers. Just get to the green box at the end. Oh, Calvin, I'm feeling it today. Clear. Correction on this one. The elite ladies, teens, and amateurs, after you get to this bullseye, you'll have a platform here. And then you finish out on the hammers or the mallets. Grab wherever you want to, land on the green box. Now to start finish platform, so once you touch it, you can proceed forward, but your next starting platform is here. Elite, you guys will have the batarang here So you can't come into contact, you can't grab the fidget spinners with your hands. You guys have to use this. Everyone else, you guys are just using the fidget spinners all the way down, just sideways here. Make sure that you don't grab the front. I'm gonna call this the front, and back front, same thing. Just don't grab those portions. Your hand can touch the tape, but if I see your hand go in the front or the back, I'm gonna DQ you on that one. Same thing on this one. The sides, well, on this one, wherever the white tape is, don't grab the white tape. Just get to the sideways, make your way to the 9 moving V formation, and pegs all the way down to a green box that's gonna be right here. I don't know where that box clear on this obstacle once you get to this green box. Next up, we have red tubes. Use the red tubes to get to the green box at the end. Do your best not to grab the straps. Hands only on this one, no feet, no legs. Watch your face. Land here. And cut. So that's gonna be your final obstacle. Kings and elites, you guys will have, the males will have 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Females, you're gonna have 4 minutes. Good luck.
Well, that is going to be a very fun course, but before we hop into dissecting what we've just seen, we want to give one additional shout out to Addie Herman, our sponsored athlete of the week. She is sponsored by DGS Ninja, our longtime partner at the WNL Championships. Go to dgsninja.com for all your ninja equipment needs. And I actually found out that earlier this weekend, Addie Herman won the Barbados Ninja Throwdown event, which automatically secures her a spot in next year's World Championship. So she will be back to defend her title, and we cannot wait to see her also at Premier Series Finals in November. And before we go to the course, this word from Ocean Needs Everyone and Enzo D. Ferrari Wilson.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, CO and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Well, Jack, the one thing that jumps out to me on this course is that these teams are going to be the first division to require that batarang hop between the fidget spinners. Usually, these athletes have just been able to lâcher across the fidget spinners. Not our teens. We're putting them to the test.
Absolutely, Alex. I mean, just seeing Donovan there share that course, he does make it look easy from time to time, those obstacles, but when you've got to string those 10 obstacles together, including the new battering ram and of course, our final 10th obstacle, which is just brutal in and of itself. We're really going to see these teen female and teen male athletes push to their limits, as we can just see our first competitor, Helena Smith, lining up to the starting platform. A bit of a wild card coming into all of this, Alex.
Yeah, coming out of Jump Climb Extreme in Maryland, one of the commenters said, show them that Maryland is more than crab cakes and football. I did see that the Maryland Terrapins won yesterday, although they were only playing Towson. As she moves on to the incline cliffs, second of 10 obstacles. Now, you may be doing the math at home and thinking, wait a minute, how are 3 athletes going to take 4 spots in this teen female division? All 3 can qualify. However, they need to complete a minimum work requirement of 3 obstacles. So Helena's going to need to beat this obstacle and the cliffhangers coming up next in order to make that qualification.
That is very true, Alex. And as we can see, the cliffhangers are no easy feat. All these first 3 obstacles are really making Helena and all of our athletes work for their positions here, as she is flying through and making this look really easy here, as Helena has now made it through the first 3 obstacles and begins her assault on the back end of this course, but can now go home happy.
These shoes are letting her down, though. Although powering through it with her upper body, now starting to get the idea. You really have to press, especially when your shoes are trying to let you down. Hopefully going to wipe off her shoes and try again. She's going right back into it, I think. Okay, trying a different technique.
Of the essence here. She's really having to fight here, Alex, for this jumping spider wall. And you can just see it's too difficult. It's just the shoes that have really cost her there. And it happens, Alex. You know, sometimes you come in with slippery shoes and you just don't realize it until the day of the competition.
Yeah, I mean, every spider walk is a little bit different. So, you know, it's just best to have the grippiest shoes that you can, and unfortunately her equipment kind of letting her down there. But Helena Smith, we will see her back in 2 months at Ferox, hopefully going to give us a little bit more what she's about.
Absolutely, Alex, and that is the exciting part for these teen female athletes, is provided that they can make it through those first 3 obstacles, we will see them back here in the US for our Premier Series finals. As we gear up for Kenzie Hughes and Sydney Smith, we saw Sydney receiving an interview earlier today, hearing her strategies about the course, and hopefully Kenzie Hughes has been listening in and has a few of her own strategies as we gear up. I think these last 2 female competitors are both veterans in their own right, and I think they're really going to go far in this course here today.
Kenzie, number 6 in the power rankings. Kenzie wasn't at this year's World Championship. She's been at previous World Championships. Actually won the Climb the Ladder skills event back in 2020. So she has been around the block for several years.
We're going to need a few seconds.
Well, that's a phenomenal display of strength, and I think that will do her well in obstacles such as the cliffhanger and the endurance-based style of this course here.
Oh, hang on. I am just being told in my earpiece that the reason that Helena was slipping was that there was chalk on the walls, and so it wasn't fair for her to complete. They're going to wipe down those walls, and she's going to receive a rerun momentarily. So Helena Smith catching a break, and now we're really going to get to see what she's about.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of an early upset there, Alex. I'm sure she'd be happy to have secured a spot in that Premier Series finals, but these ninjas here are really looking to go as far as they can. And, you know, I think it took us by surprise to see an athlete of her caliber fall on an obstacle such as the jumping spider. It happens from time to time, but it's good to see that we get that rerun there, and that the staff and them are really considerate of the chalk on the walls.
Yeah, great veteran call there by Donovan Matoyer and the Motus staff. So we will re-rack, give Helena another shot at the course. It looks like we're going to be sending Kenzie up first, though, to give Helena a little bit of time to shake out. And just so everybody is clear, the better of the 2 runs will count. So if, God forbid, she would come undone on the first 3 obstacles, she still has that result up to the jumping spider. She's still moving on to Premier Series finals, but we do want to make sure that she gets a fair crack at this course. And now we see that she's been put back on the start line, and we're going to see her back in action.
Well, hopefully she's not too tired. Hopefully, if anything, she's had that experience on the course. You know, we've seen in past weeks people have had reruns, and it's actually been quite handy for them, Alex, because not only do they get a taste of the course, but they get to settle those nerves that you have going into it for the first time. So hopefully we can see Helena Smith coming through here and going a bit further. Of course, she competed in the World Championships this year, coming out on that final obstacle, as so many people did on stage 1, but came 8th in the Northeast region this year, so an exceptional athlete. Newer to the scene, Alex, but is really making her mark, and we're going to see how she fares on this course as we gear up.
And I was told she was eager to go. Sometimes when you get that rerun, you don't want to sit around and think about it. You want to get it over with. I actually know a lot of athletes that prefer to run first, just so that they can, you know, get it out of their head. So Helena ready to go, taking on this Titan Slayer, knows what she needs to do now.
Yeah, and has that bit of experience under her belt. This will be her second attempt on this course as we come into the incline cliffs, Alex. An obstacle that took out a lot of competitors yesterday and in previous divisions. It's surprising, it's deceptively difficult. You know, you've got to maneuver these awkward cliffhangers whilst moving your feet, and if you slip off at any point, it spells disaster here. But Helena is looking strong as we now move into the cliffhanger, a place where she feels comfortable. We saw her just smash it in her first attempt, and she is flying once again.
Great movement. Always keeping that movement. You don't want to stop and think about it, because then you lose your momentum. She's out of there. Beat 3 obstacles again, and we can see those walls much cleaner this time, and she is having quite a bit of a better time sticking to these walls this time.
Yeah, the shoes are still slipping a little bit, Alex, but hopefully we can see her through this obstacle. She's really having to fight here,
Yeah,
Alex.
the plexiglass is a little bit more slippery, but you can see great resolve, trying to get through it. Can she find that dismount? She's so close.
Please, she can find this dismount.
It's there.
She's 4-2 in now.
No!
Yes, Alex.
No!
What?
No, she was short.
Here we go.
No. It was so close, Alex.
Okay, she's getting.
Helena.
I think she got a chance to wipe off there, giving it another go. She knows this time that the plexiglass is going to be slippery, and you can tell she's going a little bit lower this time. And that's where these retries come in handy.
Fourth time is the charm, Alex.
Even Donovan's happy at this one. And she is through.
And we now see her onto the back end of this course, the spider wall. Her 4th attempt, of course the first 2, a bit of a chalk issue, the 3rd, the plexiglass. But Helena makes it through, and we see this incredible ninja onto the back end of this course.
And still with the retry
And
in her back pocket, although she's going to need to use it there.
And it's worth noting that we haven't seen this obstacle yet in the teen division. The flying squirrel is deceptively difficult.
This
You
better?
don't get that much momentum from this roller coaster, so you really have to time it right if you want to make it onto that flying squirrel.
It's a really shallow
She
pitch.
gears
It
up.
doesn't go down very fast. You have to keep your legs behind your head and then get a really powerful kick there at the end. Very difficult obstacle. But Helena Smith probably worked harder for any one obstacle clear than we've seen anyone all season long. And you can see even she was relieved a lot.
Before the jumping spider,
Well,
there's a
we love
white
to see
tablet
that
or
fight.
white
We love to
beetle,
see
so
Helena
she's
going
on the
exactly,
box.
going the distance
And
and
the
making
jumping
it
spider,
this
there's a wet
course in
towel.
a great fashion. And I'm
your
sure she
shoes
can be
are
really
still-
happy with that, and I think she's going to be a fierce competitor coming into the Premier Series finals this November. But now we gear up for our final 2 competitors. Of course, we touched on Kenzie Hughes earlier here, 6th in the power rankings, a phenomenal athlete, placing 2nd in the North Central region. So, Alex, if there's someone that's going to go far in this course, it is Kenzie Hughes.
This is Kenzie's swan song in the teen division. She'll be eligible, if I'm not mistaken, she'll be eligible for elites this year.
1, go.
Rightfully so, she's a phenomenal athlete. She had a great first placement course run, and now gearing up, moving through the Titan Slayer, one of my favorite obstacles here. You have to lift these doors that are very heavy and very difficult to lift. So Kenzie is moving through well here.
Now these
Now coming
incline
into the
cliffs.
incline cliffs.
Sometimes the athletes like to stand straight up. We've seen... Ooh! Careful now. Kenzie does need to beat this and the next obstacle to move on to Premier Series finals. Well, you will see how she fares in a second attempt.
Proving how difficult these obstacles are, how deceptively awkward, I guess, the grabs are, and unexpectedly difficult it is to grip onto. She's fighting here.
But now you need to keep your feet up, which she does. So that's done. Let's see if she has cliffhangers in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, this is a very long cliffhanger. The ledges are unforgiving, but Kenzie is making light work of this obstacle as we move on to the thicker ledges, and that essentially secures her place, Alex, in the Premier Series finals. And we can breathe a sigh of relief once again as we gear up for this jumping spider that took
more
out
trouble
Helena,
now.
And now it's,
Okay, but Kenzie's starting to get the hang of it. I think she has learned from Helena that she needs to stay low here. There we go, getting through. That should be first place on time. Kenzie gave us a little bit of a scare at the start, got her spot at finals, but now looking to set a great score that will be hard for Sydney Smith coming up next week. And a great kick, just making that flying squirrel.
Really having to reach out there, Alex, but the rest of this should be flying. Flying squirrels is something that's in the staple houses of so many of these ninjas, and we can breathe a sigh of relief as we now get to start to see the back end of this course with Eyeglass Lane. This, Alex, is a tough one. This was a tough one yesterday, and with the new variations, it's even more difficult.
And that sideways board out of play. They've got to lâcher right to this eyeglass and then make sure it doesn't fall off. We saw it fall off for a number of athletes yesterday, and so the ideal strategy is going to be to take that eyeglass, spin it around so that it would be much harder to fall off forward or backwards so that you can lâcher to this bullseye. And she just missed it.
Just holding onto the eyeglass for a little bit
we gotta check on Kenzie here. I think
Here we go. 3,
saw
she's
gas.
2.
She's gonna power through it.
Go. Go for it. 130.
Oh, you know what? I think that's hair. My bad, everybody. I was like, wow, that was fast. No, never mind. Kenzie is good, and she is making
Had
her
us on the
second
edge
attempt
there,
here on
Alex.
Eyeglass Lane.
And now coming into the Eyeglass Lane, she's going to go once again.
What?
A new approach.
Huh? Okay, then. That was a magic trick.
Innovating the space here. Kenzie Hughes, and she gets the dismount.
Wow, didn't even make the catch. Went right for the dismount. Incredible stuff by Kenzie Hughes. We're going to need to see a replay of how in the world she just pulled that off.
A new innovation has been made on the Eyeglass Lane. Just left, right, and center blowing us out of the way there. Now gearing up for Hannah's. And that's going to end her run out.
Yeah, that second hammer is tilted back towards you. You really got to catch the back end of that hammer. Kenzie Hughes with one of the more entertaining runs we've seen all season, including an incredibly innovative technique on Eyeglass Lane. Reminds me of Rio Riveron a couple weeks ago on the skyhooks.
Absolutely. And that's what we love about these retries, this system that we have. Kenzie Hughes coming out a bit early there, but then we're seeing this innovative strategy we've never seen before on an Eyeglass Lane and securing the dismount coincidentally so she can be happy with that run because that will put her into first place unless Sydney Smith has anything to say about it.
Now you see defending elite men's world champion Tyler Smith on her sidelines. I'll need to check if Sydney is his sister or related or not. Smith is a fairly common last name, I guess. But we will see Tyler defend his world title later tonight. Sydney giving us a little bit of a preview first.
Yeah, Sydney did an exceptional run during this placement course. And I was going to say, Alex, if they are related, it's perhaps they're just both really good at ninja and happen to have the same last name. Who knows? Only time will tell here. Placing 9th in the North Central region, got to stage 2 of this year's World Championships. So just all round a phenomenal athlete and a force to be reckoned with here. And she's gunning for that Kenzie Hughes top time and top position. She's got to make it to Eyeglass Lane and
looking
pass
to
that
jump for that ring, keeping her feet up. Great recovery, and she's going to have to continue that recovery because she's not there yet. And she's good. Okay. Great save there by Sydney.
Yeah, and for those watching on at home, there is a rule at Motus Ninjas that if you do touch the black parts of any obstacles, it is in play. And as a result, Sydney Smith was able to use the sides there to benefit her. as she's now moving through the cliffhanger here, Alex. And if she can get this obstacle, she will be into the Premier Series finals.
Looks like she's got it. She does. Work, though, still to be done. I want to chalk up for this. Chalk is just going to make it slipperier. But Sydney, great poise. Avoiding that plexiglass. That's been proving to be slippery. She's through and onto the roller coaster. Passing on Chalk.
Now, this roller coaster flying school took out so many athletes yesterday. And Sydney Smith just coming unstuck there. You can see how difficult of a grab is. The difficulty in this obstacle is not the strength, nature of it, it's this lack of speed that you actually get going into the flying squirrel. So Sydney looking strong here. She just missed out on it. Can she get it the second time?
She does!
And she does, Alex.
And that is where those retries come in handy. You know, training out of the barn, she's got that in the bag. And she makes the dismount. We were told in our earpiece, this is Tyler's sister. So looking to perhaps have a family vacation to Brooklyn in November. Sydney's already there. We'll see if Tyler makes it later tonight. But first, we got to see if Sydney can take home the win.
Sydney has just seen Kenzie Hughes complete this obstacle, and she will be looking to follow suit.
Yeah, coming up short there. Bit of a surprise, but still has that retry. She's out of retries, though.
She was lashing from the back end of that board, Alex, which I wonder if that distance could have made it more difficult. Now grabbing the sides instead.
Smart
so
call.
Hopefully she can make
Makes
sure.
the grab. I gotta be careful that she's going right from here. You gotta be careful that you don't get that off of the hooks, and that caused her to not get enough swing to grab the bullseye. Sydney Smith is gonna come in second. Kenzie Hughes is gonna take home the win.
Sydney Smith, again, putting up an exceptional run here. Once again, she had to fight tooth and nail, just as we've seen all our teen female athletes do so far. We love this retry format. It's allowing these ninjas to have a second go at these really difficult and technical obstacles here. But Sydney can walk away very happy with that run. That lache is quite the distance. And yeah, that's going to conclude our teen females. As we look at the standings once again, Alex, Kenzie Hughes coming out on top with 6 obstacles completed, a phenomenal run, and Sydney Smith just coming behind her. And of course our wild card, Helena Smith, stepping up to the platform and doing a really exceptional job against these experienced veterans.
And I want to quickly make mention of something that just happened in the background there. The landing pad after Eyeglass Lane has been pulled for the teen male division, so they're going to have to progress straight through the Eyeglass Lane into the hammers with no breaks. And because there are no touch points on the challenge course, that is all one obstacle. So if you fall off on one of those hammers, you're going all the way back to the beginning of that lane.
Yeah, that's really going to ask a lot of our teen male athletes. But Alex, it might be worth highlighting some of our runs. Oh, it looks like we're getting underway already with Kellen Williams. He looks excited. He's a Motus Ninja, of course, homebred in this gym. He knows how to operate in the Motus Ninja courses. Very familiar with the home court advantage. However, he did have an early exit on the placement course, so he'll be looking to go much further here in this challenge course.
The good news is I don't think you can fail the Titan Slayer, so he has beaten one obstacle. But obviously lots more still that he wants to beat. 4th place in the Heartland region in this past season. Oh, he came off of the incline cliffs, but he knows what he needs to do now. Get right back up there. Clock begins again.
Using one of his valuable retries there. It's something that's really important, but again, once again showing how difficult this incline cliffs can be. You can see that he's really fighting
missed with his
for the
foot.
position.
Yeah, you can't really see where you're placing your feet. You really have to rely on feel and on your finger strength. And Kellen Williams is unfortunately going to come undone on those incline cliffs.
Yeah, it's really deceptively difficult. Those grips are not easy, but we are going to move right on through to our next competitor, Alex. Chase McCambridge.
1, go.
Chase, another Motus athlete looking to avenge his fallen teammate. Chase was number 2 in the Heartland standings this past season, and at the World Championships a few months ago, made it to the final obstacle of Stage 1.
Absolutely right, Alex. And Chase just came out early on the placement course earlier here today on the balance beam, which cost a lot of these ninjas here today. But Chase showing a phenomenal display of strength here through the incline cliffs, again, where we just saw his fellow Motus ninja come out. And now he's going to be looking for this dismount.
There we
Where
go.
you've got to be extra careful about the bottom part.
Yeah, incidental contact with that floor would be allowed, but you do have to be really careful and not leave it up to the referee's discretion. And he is making solid work here of the cliffhanger.
Yeah, this is their bread and butter. These ninjas know how to work through a cliffhanger. But the jumping spider has been a surprising difficulty for so many ninjas, but not Chase here, as he flies through it.
Yeah,
And
very
worth
smoothly
noting
controlled.
It's worth noting, Alex, that the boys only have 3 minutes 30 on the clock here. That is not a lot of time to complete this entire course. So you can see Chase attacking it with urgency as he moves on to the flying squirrel. Looking really strong so far. This is a solid run, Alex.
Well, he makes the catch of the second. Still both retries in his back pocket as he approaches the back half of this course. 4 obstacles to go now, not 5, because this is all one. It's the eye hammer.
Yeah, a new name, a new format. This obstacle is brutal. Not only do they need to complete the eyeglass, but they then have to move on to the hammers.
First of all, he has to be careful not to do that. Hopefully he's okay.
Alex.
Looks like he is. I think just more startled than anything, and that's why we saw in that rules video Donovan hooking one side on the back so that it can't fall back on you when you build up that swing.
It is a bit of a shock there. You do have to. Hopefully he can settle the nerves and settle that real shock that he would have taken to his system. He's got the adrenaline going now as he's going to gear up. Hopefully learn from that mistake.
Now it looks like he is making that
hook.
approach. And that is the advantage of running later in the challenge course, knowing that you are going to have to do that, knowing that it will slip out on you if you build up too much of a swing.
Yeah, Chase can now build up a massive swing because it's well positioned. He lines up the lâché and just comes undone.
Yeah, actually, he went a little bit too far to the left, and that made it really difficult for him to grab that bullseye hold. Chase coming out on that incredibly difficult eye hammer. He will certainly not be the last.
Well, yeah, one of the difficult parts of that obstacle, Alex, is you can see the front part of the ring will also fly with you if you pull it too fast, and that can throw out your lâché there, as it did for Chase McCambridge. Regardless, a great run. Hard to say whether that will secure him a top 4 spot, but he can walk away being really happy with that solid effort. As we come into another underrated competitor, Hunter Stanfield, who had an early exit on the placement course, is looking to go further here on the challenge course, Alex.
Hunter coming out of Midwest Warrior in Omaha, Nebraska. Short drive south here at Kansas City. Now, Midwest Warrior not a WNL facility, so Hunter's been competing outside of the WNL this season, earned an invite for his solid work in other ninja organizations this past season. And the Motus we've seen has invited a lot of center of the country athletes, giving them a chance to shine on this big stage.
Yeah, Hunter doing a phenomenal job so far.
But he misses with his right foot.
This incline cliffs, Alex, is really taking our competitors by surprise. It looks like from any viewers watching at home, they'd see it and be like, oh, they're just walking along a wall, but those are on an incline. It is a really awkward grab, and if you
Yeah, you can see again. Oh my goodness, second athlete down today on the incline cliffs.
Hunter Stanfield ending his run earlier than he would have liked. He started out strong there on the Titan Slayer, but those incline cliffs just got the better of him. I think he realized how awkward of a grip it was in the end. And Motus Ninjas, again, proving to us that you can call on any stage of their course designs as we gear up for Sean Miller, an absolute phenomenal athlete coming into the Titan Slayer and looking strong so far.
Yeah, he definitely got through that. One of the easiest that we've seen get through the Titan Slayer. Now onto these difficult incline cliffs. Resetting. He's allowed to reset.
We are really seeing the athletes get nervous about this second obstacle, Alex. It's proving to be deceptively difficult.
Yeah, he's realizing he didn't have enough chalk to start out with. So he's getting more chalk. This is still his first attempt because he reset on the start platform.
And he's now working through it. He's looking good, but he's got to make this transition here.
The downside is that he has eaten up a lot of time.
He has. But he's trying to make sure of it and doesn't want to fall here.
For the record, we did see somebody in a younger age division try to run across that and did not get very far, so Donovan making sure that you got to do the obstacle as intended.
Sean Miller beginning his assault on the cliffhanger now. We can breathe a sigh of relief as we start to see him onto the back end of this course. His forearms are likely burning from that incline cliffs. Who knew, Alex, that the incline cliffs would be more feared than the cliffhanger itself at this point?
Certainly not me. I am very surprised to see how difficult that's been. But sometimes those obstacles that you don't think will be as difficult can humble you, as we see Sean Miller gliding through the spider.
And that is the beauty of this course and of the retry format, is these ninjas get a second attempt. But with 1 minute 40 on the clock, Sean's really going to have his work cut out for him here, as he gears up for the roller coaster to flying squirrel. A very technical obstacle.
Right idea on the kick, got it. A little bit of a fumble with that left hand, but makes the recovery. Nice centered swing. Those arms do swing independently, and he just
couldn't quite get the lâché right. He went too high, I believe, and just wasn't there for that grab. Sean Miller
trying to
coming
link the
in.
dismount or something. Very uncharacteristic.
But now he has his second attempt, Alex, and I think this is quite handy, as he's now had an attempt at it. He understands what he needs to do, and he gears up for that second grab. Looking good.
It's the scene of the crime a moment ago. This time he gets it. Plays it a little bit more conservatively with the landing, and he will move on to the back half of this course. Still with the retry, but only 1 minute. Nobody has beaten this obstacle yet, though, in the male division. So if he beats this, he'd be in first place. Although he comes off on that devil step, probably fatigue just setting in now.
Yeah, you can see him breathing really heavily here, flexing out his forearms. They've got to be gassed, as the incline cliff, he was on that for a long time, and I think that's going to cost him in the long run here. But he gears up for the eyeglass.
Both in time and energy. Only 32 seconds left. Has to get this jump. Makes it. We will see if he's... No, I don't think he has the time to go around. He just had to hope for the bullseye, and he came up short. You really can't get a backswing unless you do that move. And Sean Miller is going to be another athlete going out on that eye hammer.
Yeah, one of our fastest athletes through the first obstacle, but then got caught up on the second obstacle and made it through the cliffhanger, but his forearms were gassed by the time he got to the flying squirrels here. And yeah, by the time the eyeglass came around, one of our most difficult obstacles that we're yet to see any of the teams through so far, it cost him in that long run. But luckily, that's still going to secure him a strong place there in second. And we will see how that holds as we move through our list of team competitors looking to take on this very challenging course. And someone who's excited is Cohen.
Okay, now he's ready.
2, 1, go.
All right, well, Cohen giving us a little bit of pre-run entertainment as he attacks the Titan Slayer.
Cohen relatively excited given how many competitors have fallen so far. So fingers crossed he is feeling confident coming into this course. The incline cliffs, an obstacle that is taking out so many ninjas here today and proving to be a real struggle for our teams.
Cohen, a bit of a wild card to us, hasn't competed in the WNL very much, but that does not hold back the caliber of athlete that he is. Made the trip down here to Motus today, and gonna have to do a second swing on the incline cliffs, but we've seen this is, you can recover from this. We saw Sydney Smith recover from this a moment ago.
He's got a bit of a smile on his face, Alex, which is what we like to see. And Donovan's gonna clear it, as now he is moving through the cliffhanger, trying to make up some time here, doing some skips. This is his bread and butter.
Oh my goodness. That was one of the
fastest. It does not matter that he just lost time. Yeah, he just made it back up, Alex.
That was one of the fastest cliffhangers we've seen all weekend. Definitely going to see them go fast and furious as we get further along in the evening. as he makes
And it
his
shows
way
how
through
much he
jumping
has in
spider.
the tank as well, Alex. You know, to be able to fly through a cliffhanger like that, it shows he's got endless reserves of energy as he just jumps up to the box. I love the confidence that he's displaying here. It's really refreshing to see.
And he just effortlessly glides up to this first flying squirrel. We mentioned he was a bit of a wild card to us before. Not anymore. We know that this young man has a lot of potential and a lot of capability. Let's see if he can be the first to beat the Eye Hammer.
Yeah, this obstacle is taking out the best of the best, and everyone's taking a new approach each time. It looks like Cohen's just going to go for it, and he grabs the sides.
Well, we said new approach. Didn't think to grab the sides there, but it works. Didn't even need to hook the back end of the eye. And he is through the hammers as well. Our first athlete to conquer the Eye Hammer, and now is going to show us this batarang move.
Yeah, this obstacle is brutal, Alex. Again, Motus Ninjas does not disappoint. 1 minute on the clock for Cohen, and this is going to be our first look at this very difficult obstacle.
Only the batarang to use on these fidget spinners. Can't grab the fidget spinner itself. This is a Brett Sims element too. We saw him design the course at Motive 3 weeks ago. And even on a course that isn't Brett Sims, you still see Brett Sims' fingerprints on it.
Absolutely, Alex. And you can see just how difficult it is. You've got to feed that batarang through the tiny fidget spinner hold, which is just so demanding for these teen male athletes as he gears up for his second and final throw. And
Gets it this time, but needs to do it again onto this third fidget spinner. This one a little bit further, it looks like. Gets it on the right edge of it, adjusts, and now he can make it onto the trolley with 30 seconds left.
Phenomenal run to this point by Cohen. This is incredible,
Oh, but
Alex.
it's sliding back. It's an upward tilt, so it will slide back on if you don't go right here. He does, but can't grab the sideways board. What a fight, though, by Cohen Dahlstrom.
Yeah, Cohen, a phenomenal run all around. A great attitude all throughout this run as well, Alex. He was really well-spirited throughout this run. Very happy to be here. And he was a wildcard athlete for us coming into this, but he's really secured his position here in this competition.
Yeah, we will see if maybe only 4 athletes are able to beat the Eye Hammer. He got to that point, I believe, without needing any of his retries. So a very good run by Cohen. Taking a look there at the standings, he's in first place, 6 obstacles, and he cleared that Eye Hammer with 2 minutes 12 seconds used, not 2 minutes 12 seconds remaining. And we will see how many athletes are able to beat that score. Perhaps Nathan Hahn, who has Premier Series experience. This is our first season, but he competed at Motive a few weeks ago, looking to get into the top 4 this time.
Yeah, it really is a battle for these teen males. They have every single division. You have to really go for it here. And Nathan is back once again. And it's really good to see that he's a fighter. He's someone who is dedicated to the sport. As Nathan begins these very difficult incline cliffs, Alex, that we now need to hold our breath for every single time as these ninjas fight tooth and nail to make it through this obstacle.
Yeah, this a very difficult, grip-intensive obstacle. Can't really go fast. Explosiveness doesn't help you here. Nathan has a 13-foot lache in his arsenal, but that's not going to come in handy until the back end of this course.
Yeah, there's just so much forearm burn throughout these obstacles. We've just seen previous competitors move through this cliffhanger but have their forearms gassed following that. But Nathan's looking strong, Alex. This is looking like a solid run so far.
He's through onto the spider walk. Finding it to be a little bit slippery again. Now he's got it. Just need to find his footing.
He was just teasing with us there, Alex, at the start. We thought it was going to be a battle, but Nathan showing no problems there. As we now move into a more technical obstacle, definitely not too physically demanding, but he looks good here.
Wow, great kick. Great power. Putting that 13-foot lache to use. He's not going to skip these, is he? Okay, no.
Yeah, you love to see it, Alex. On that roller coaster, it's such a technically difficult obstacle, but when they get it right, it makes it look really easy and make it look like it's not too far away. Nathan is doing so well on this course so far. 1:40 on the clock. This is a great time to this point, but can he complete an obstacle that only one other ninja has completed to this point?
We will have to see. On the eye hammer, makes the catch of the eyeglass, opts to make this move. Probably the smart thing to do. He has plenty of time.
And this lâché is a big one, Alex.
And the mixed grip catch of the special delivery, we've seen that start to come in vogue where athletes grab one hand in front, one hand in the back of the special delivery. Now on to these croquet mallets. We saw them in stage 2 at Worlds. Oh, but Nathan slips off of the back and he's got to go all the way to the beginning.
And it's not only a question of time, but does he have the energy now? I mean, to go through that obstacle again, Nathan had to fight tooth and nail to get himself to that point. You can see him taking a little bit of time to rest, talking to his coach, getting a bit of feedback. He looks a little bit disappointed, but he's got the time to finish this, Alex, and that will secure him a really strong position in this competition if he can make it through this.
Only one athlete has beaten this so far. Nathan would not be faster, but would at least get into the top 2 provisionally. One more go at this swing. And it got caught, I think, as he was coming forward. The front end got dislodged, and that's going to be it for Nathan Hahn. He will be receiving an additional point because he looks like he only got credit for 4 punches. We'll need to give him a 5th in Ninja Works. But that's very easy to do with our quality Ninja Works timing systems. One more look at Nathan's run.
Absolutely. You know, Nathan can be really proud of that run. And it's showing again how that approach of, he managed to get it the first time around, just coming short on that hammer, showing how slippery it is. But even on his second approach, we saw just how difficult that eyeglass to lâché is. It's proving to be deceptively difficult as Nathan Hahn will hold on to that 4th place spot. However, Alex, we have a few competitors still to come, such as of the caliber of Cohen Dalstorm, just really taking us by storm there. So we'll see how he holds at six obstacles completed. 6 athletes down, Alex, and many more to go.
I like what you did there. Well, Hunter, once his score, or not Hunter,
That's by Jeff.
Nathan, once his score is adjusted, will be moved up into 3rd. We got to meet Jeff Baumgarten during the break in that interview. One of the very best team male athletes for the past number of years, 7th in the power rankings, and he has a lot of power built into that frame.
Absolutely. Jeff is a force to be reckoned with here. He didn't quite secure a top time coming into during the placement course, but that doesn't matter in the challenge course. Anything can happen here today. I think it's really the distance that these ninjas that go during this course that's going to decide how they place. I think it really is such a tough course here that Jeff is going to be looking to go all the way, and we are seeing a really strong performance so far.
Yeah, right through the cliffhanger. You are going to need to beat at least 5 obstacles to get into that top 4. But again, we still have a lot of high caliber athletes like Jeff, who's on the course right now, still to run. Jeff getting high on that spider. We can see a little bit of slip on the plexiglass, but finds his footing once he knows how hard he needs to keep his feet into that.
This could be our fastest time to this point, Alex. Jeff is looking so strong. And we love to see it here, almost going for a link on the flying squirrels. And we're going to see him through to the 6th obstacle with the fastest time to this point. 2 minutes 15 on the clock. He's got time to take a rest, but he's not stopping. Alex,
he might not even go for the hook. He might just go right for it. No, he's going to go for this magic trick that we saw. And I think the idea is you're going to keep it there because then it doesn't move at all.
Jeff is innovating on this course. Such a strong athlete. This is the fastest run we have seen to this point. He's not just going for the top time. He's going for a course completion here with 1:50 on the clock into the final hammer. Alex, we could be witnessing something exceptional here.
Well, I get the feeling Jeff Baumgarten knows his way around batarangs. This, a pretty unique element though, using them in the fidget spinners. Haven't seen too much of this. Although coming unstuck. He'll get a second attempt, though, once that is reset. Clock stops. Minute 30 to go.
Yeah, this batarang is both a thing of timing and technique. He's got the experience with it, but does he have it in this context of a fidget spinner? It's really something new that we haven't seen too many times. But we love to see these innovations in Ninja as he gears up for his second and final attempt here.
Building up a swing. Gets it this time. Needs to do it again, though. And comes undone on the second jump. Jeff Baumgarten is going to go out on this really difficult obstacle. However, beating 6 obstacles in the fastest time, provisionally in first.
Yeah, and you know, of someone of Jeff's caliber, with the time that he had left on the clock, we know that he could have gone further there. But this course not only demands the endurance which he had in spades, it also demands that technique on this Batarang to fidget spinner. And unfortunately, he came unstuck there, Alex. But a phenomenal run that's going to skyrocket him to the top of the leaderboards here with a time of 1:44. I really hope we start to see competitors through to the back end of this course. You know, we still have another 3 obstacles after this. But if Jeff can hold on, that's a really good time to that point as we gear up for our next competitor.
I'd like to know what this pose is that Ellery is doing. We've definitely seen a lot of athletes take this headshot as an opportunity to express themselves. Ninja, really a sport about, a number of things, but one of them is expression.
Well, Ellery is a phenomenal athlete with such an incredible resume, Alex. So I guess we'll have to ask him, hopefully, in a post-interview, his approach and stance before gearing up on a course. But now moving through the incline cliffs, these later athletes are doing this well, and Ellery is joining the club, hopefully, of people past Obstacle 2 here.
Yeah, making his way through. Number 3 athlete in the Heartland region in Season 8. Made it to the end of Stage 1 at the World Championships. And that throwback was so incredibly difficult, so you definitely see a number of... Oh, okay. Never mind. He's just decided to start crossing over on cliffhangers. Going to flex on all of us.
Yeah, whilst doing a downward swing as well there. I saw him when he had his one hand on it and he was swinging downwards. I thought that was him doomed, but Ellery showing a great display of strength here as he gears up for the back end of this course, Alex. This is exciting, just to see the caliber of strength that these later athletes have to offer.
Gets a good kick there off of the roller coaster onto the flying squirrel. Makes the second catch and the dismount. Larry Lenz out of Warrior Sports in Central Missouri, looking to represent with pride as he makes his way to the eye hammer with a very good time. We've seen 2 athletes beat this already. He's going for the magic trick, and he's got it. Centering himself up. And needs to build up a swing to this bullseye. Almost
and he just misses it, Alex.
Just couldn't get his fingers in that special delivery slot.
Just coming unstuck there, but luckily he has a second attempt here. And with 1:42 on the clock, Alex, this isn't too bad, you know. That's still more time than most ninjas had to this point. So
yeah,
just doing a bit of a reset. And Ellery not only gets that time to rest, but now gets a second attempt to learn from his mistakes.
And the best news is if he beats it on this attempt, he still has a retry to use on that Batarang obstacle. That's coming up next. First.
And this is the tactic now, Alex. It's what we like to see. It's solidified. It's the benefit of going later in this run as he gears up for this very difficult lache here.
And he went for the middle this time. Was only able to get one hand into it. Came unstuck, as you would say. And the bullseye proving to be fatal for Ellery.
Yeah, I believe it's really taking these competitors out. I think we've seen all the approaches tried at this point just to try and beat that obstacle. And I think from Cohen Dahlstrom, we saw him grab the sides of the disc and perhaps could be an approach that hopefully some of the other competitors pick up. But yeah, it really is a difficult one.
I'm surprised more competitors haven't picked it up, actually.
We'll have to let them know.
Yeah.
3, 2,
just start commentating really, really loud. Chase Hughes, our 4th to last athlete, and at this point, any athlete who moves into first place provisionally would secure that top 4 spot at Ferox. So we will start to see athletes get guaranteed spots starting as soon as we know the outcome of this run.
Yeah, this course has proven to be so difficult for these athletes here today. Not seeing anyone past obstacle 6 to this point, but as we move into our final 4 competitors, this is hopefully where we see the best of the best going at it and going as far as possible.
Ooh.
Chase Hughes had an incredible placement run, really dominant, not only in his speed, but in his display of strength. And now coming into the cliffhanger and going for a very conservative approach. You know, he's moving with a great deal of pace, but just keeping the arms dangled and not trying to burn his forearms too much here.
Yeah, smart. You don't want to burn yourself out early, because this back half is so technical, but it's going to be a whole lot easier if you aren't tired.
Absolutely, and Chase Hughes does not look tired coming into this roller coaster. Again, such a technical obstacle.
Great
but,
kick.
Yeah, in these teen male division, it's their bread and butter. They know how to make it through that obstacle, and we're not seeing too much trouble there. But the next obstacle, Alex, this is really a make or break moment for so many of our ninjas here today. This eyeglass to hammer, it's crushing these ninjas.
Yeah, and for the most part, it's been that bullseye in the middle. Kind of, we overlooked that element because of the difficulty of this eyeglass and the difficulty of the hammers. But athletes have really been struggling trying to figure out which of the options of grabbing that bullseye is the best. He's just going right for it. Got to be careful that he doesn't pull it off. And he airballed it.
Just coming short there. He had the right intention though, Alex. I feel as though it looked promising, but just coming short.
3, 2,
Yeah, I think he knows exactly how hard he needs to send that on his second attempt.
And luckily the
Back
bar
up
did
and
not come out, so he can push it a little bit harder, but it is worth noting that we've seen competitors here today, when they don't adjust the eyeglass, they do lose it sometimes, so hopefully Chase can find the perfect balance between power and the precision here.
What is he going to go for on the second attempt? Big kick, and he missed the special delivery hold again. This bullseye is taking out competitors, taking names.
Taking big names as well, Alex. Chase Hughes dominated coming into this placement course and has such an exceptional resume, has done so much in his ninja career, and just couldn't get that special delivery grab. It's proving to be perhaps the crux point of so many ninjas' runs here today. As we look at the scoreboard, once again, Chase Hughes will secure a in the top 4 at the moment, but if there's someone who can take that position from him, it is Oliver Luttman. Alex, I will leave you to the introduction of this individual.
Jeff Baumgarten has secured his spot at Ferox, Chase Hughes on the bubble, and if there's any one human being on planet Earth I don't want to watch run when I'm on the bubble, it's Oliver Luttman, the only athlete in WNL history with 3 world championships. And he is 3 for 3 at the world championship. He's never finished anything other than first. Making his way now through the inclined cliffs.
It's a statistic, and it's an accomplishment that no one else on this earth has held thus far, except for Oliver Luttman, an incredible athlete. Seeing him move through the cliffhangers here well, and I have my fingers crossed that hopefully we can see a completion here. We are yet to see anyone onto obstacle 7, 8, 9, or 10 of this course, Alex. But as you said, if there's one person that's going to do it, it's Oliver Luttman. He's consistent, he's strong, and he's here to compete.
Oliver, in his first 8 course runs at the World Championship, didn't fail a single obstacle. We saw him come undone on the yo-yos in the placement course, but he is looking like he is taking that a bit personally, as he has run roughshod on these first 5 obstacles.
And the one incredible thing about Oliver is he's moving through this course. He's moving so fast, but he looks so calm on every single obstacle, and that's just a great display of technique. But this
right
is
for the jumps, and he
gets it.
Whoa! What power! Grabbing the top of the bullseye.
And really innovating this space as per usual. Oliver Luttman coming into these slippery hammers. This has spelled disaster for our competitors, but Alex, this is going to throw Oliver into the top spot. 1 minute 50 on the clock to this point is an exceptional time. But does he have the batarangs in his belt, Alex?
Yeah, Oliver, definitely an athlete that knows tech, but this batarang is a very new element. Athletes haven't totally figured this out yet. Oliver, though, looking to get through these fidget spinners, makes the first, makes the second. First to get both on the first try.
Yeah, making it look so easy. Our first athlete through that point on their first try. Now this slides a great deal, so he's really got to time it right.
And he grabs the sideways. He's slipping though. Makes the jump onto the V. Can climb down the pegs, and Oliver Luttman will be the first to defeat the spin hopper into sideways.
Clear.
2 obstacles to go and plenty of time to beat them both.
This is a run, Alex, that we have on our hands. This could be it. 54 seconds on the clock. The red tubes hopefully shouldn't spell too much disaster for him, although they are very big. Something that he's familiar with in the World Championship format. And we are going to see him onto this.
Very similar to aerial barrel, an obstacle he's beaten twice at the World Championship as he's on to Kevin's VCR. Brand new obstacle, never before seen before this weekend. He's going to have to push that VCR forwards so that it'll drop and become a cliff ledge. It's kind of a mid-air move.
And we can see him here with 20 seconds on the clock. He's really going to have to go for it. And absolutely,
it's a little bit stuck.
It's
not able to hang on. It's such a difficult, unique obstacle. The Kevin in the name is its designer, Kevin Brecky, one of the most prolific obstacle designers in the history of our sport. Obstacles like Cane Lane, Crank It Up for grabs. This new demonic creation from Kevin. Oh, actually, he makes the first catch. Now, giving his fellow competitors a little bit of free beta here as his time has expired. But don't tell him that. He slipped off of that second one.
But Oliver
made it all the way to the end, all the way to the last obstacle. He is in first place provisionally. He'll be on the podium and in the Premier Series finals.
Yeah, a phenomenal run by Oliver. You know, he came into this with an exceptional resume, and he showed us why he's a top competitor here today. He came out early on the placement course, but was the first through Obstacle 7 here, having no troubles on the red tubes, has done it so many times at the World Championships, and just running out of time here on Kevin's VCR, an obstacle that is really proving to be a difficult final one and making these Motus ninjas work for it.
I think the scariest thing about Oliver is I got to meet him personally at the 2021 World Championship, which is about 2 years ago, and it looks like he's gained about 1.5 feet in height since then.
Just adding to the skill, adding to his potential as an athlete that we're going to see in the years to come. I'm sure every elite division competitor is going to be scared to have him in that elite division in the years to come. But Alex, now we're moving on to the final 2 competitors who both completed the placement course, the 2 only competitors to complete it. So these are going to be ones to watch. Graham Ogden is stepping up to the plate here, now moving through Titan Slap.
That's right, Graham, we mentioned, performed very well in the skills at the World Championship, finished 5th in the Strongest Ninja competition. Made it deep into stage 2 on the course as well. Says he's been doing ninja competitions for 5 years and also is in a national geography beat.
I love how these ninjas are so multi-talented.
Right?
They're just always good at so many things. When they're good at one thing, they're usually good at a million things. Graham just having a bit of struggle there on the incline cliffs, but now looking to make up some time. As our second highest seeded competitor coming into today's challenge course, Graham is looking phenomenal so far. He placed 4th in the Northeast Region as well. So just all around, such an exceptional resume coming into today's competition.
13 years old, is taller and has more wingspan than I do. So definitely has the size advantage here. It won't come too much in handy, but might at least give him the power to get this kick. And you can see that's about the easiest anyone's had it on this obstacle so far.
Yeah, I think that was the best technique we've seen all day. He had perfect form on that difficult roller coaster. But now coming into the eye hammer, Alex, this is the obstacle of the day. This is the one that's taking out so many ninjas. But Graham he knows how to complete difficult obstacles. He got the Aussie grip in the placement course. And now he's onto the eye hammer.
And interestingly, athletes, for the most part, skipping the magic trick, just relying on their power. He grabs the side. We were waiting for athletes to start grabbing the sides, and now we're starting to see it.
Yeah, it looks like they're listening into the live stream, Alex, as Graham now lines up the final hammer grab, and he is smooth sailing from here. And we are on to Obstacle 7. with a minute 30 on the clock. That is going to do him really well in the standings. But if he can get through this obstacle 7, Alex, which only one person has gotten through thus far, he will definitely secure his place in the Premier Series finals. But now we'll be on to his second and final attempt on this obstacle.
So incredibly difficult. So much technical precision required. An obstacle unlike anything we've seen in the World Ninja League. Certainly in the Premier Series. It's Graham, the young man, to beat it. And he came up short. Just couldn't get that battering around. Nevertheless, 6 obstacles completed. 6 very tough ones at that. And we will have to see if that time holds up to be in the top 4.
Yeah, Graham just doing a really solid run there. And with one competitor to go, he should be okay, but we'll have to wait and see once we check the standings in a moment. But all-rounder run that he can be very happy with. And just, again, showing the benefit, Alex, of going later in the run order. But just that tech obstacle there. It really is. Motus Ninjas has gone all out as we see that he's in 3rd place. And that should finalize his spot in the Premier Series finals.
It does. He can only get bumped down one more spot, which means Oliver Lutman, Jeff Baumgarten, and Graham Ogden are in. And our last athlete in will either be Cohen Dahlstrom or Ellis Rothke, who blazed through that placement course in only 50 seconds.
Yeah, one of the most dominant runs that we have seen all day. To have completed that placement course was a feat that only one other athlete managed to accomplish. But to finish it in 50 seconds, he really put on the burners. And that's what we're seeing once again here, Alex.
Yeah, he was effortlessly through the Titan slider. Needs to be careful here on incline cliffs. Speed can kill here.
Absolutely, but Ellis is doing well so far.
Quickly through the cliffhanger. This is definitely one of the faster paces, and that is to be expected from our placement course winner.
Yeah, he knows that he's got to go all the way here. He knows he's got to try and really put on the burners because he not only wants to secure his top 4 spot, but he wants to beat out Oliver Lutman, who of course made it to the final obstacle with a great time.
It's a nice big kick, and grabbing that, actually coming up a little bit short on the flying squirrels come in handy, as that means that you won't kind of bottom out there at the bottom of your swing. You'll have momentum to quickly get over to that second set of flying squirrels. And what?
That is a move, Alex.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Oh my, can he get the hammers here? He's going to be a legend if he can make it through this obstacle now. Ellis moving through this at the fastest pace we have seen to this point by a mile, innovating at every turn here. Ellis will now be completing obstacle 6, minute 50 on the clock.
He's still good. That's 2 different platforms, so you can spill over there. And
this is
I mean, he just broke one of the commentators. Not very often you do that. Trying to eye this spin hopper to sideways. If he beats it, he's for sure in. Otherwise, he'll have to rely on time.
Yeah, and I just love to see the innovations though, Alex. Ellis is a formidable competitor, our top-seeded competitor, and isn't afraid at the very end to even take a risk like he just did there. But this is a tech obstacle, and he's looking good.
1 done, still 1 more to go. He's got it! Joins Oliver Lutman in being able to beat that segment in 1 try. Still has both retries available. Hopefully doesn't need it on this end part. And he moves up this trolley. It is on a little bit of an incline, so we'll need to get off right here probably. He does, grabs the sideways board. Now he can make his way down these pegs. That V-hold does not spin. So it's just a climb down the pegs. And Ellis Rothke is going to Ferox. He's going to the finals. But now he wants first place and that buzzer. Still has time to do it.
Yeah, and you can see he's really gassed at the moment. He's really having to take in those deep breaths and fight now as he gears up on red tubes. An obstacle that he's familiar with from the World Championships. But can he get this dismount here? He's looking solid.
He does. We'll have to check his time to see if that was faster than Oliver. But in the meantime, beating Kevin's VCR would put him into first place. Sliding it forward. Can't make the catch, and with 5 seconds left, I don't think he has enough time for a quality second attempt. And yeah, it's your 5 seconds, so
like
might as well
he's
use
just
it.
As our final competitor, it would be
Yeah. That
Ellis
DCR
would
is
be
gonna be
very happy
brutal
with that
down the
run,
stretch.
Alex.
One more look
again.
at this run that's going to put Ellis in the top 2. I think Oliver was faster, but we'll have to check. And I mean, this was the move that certainly blew my mind. I can't speak for you, Jack, but
No, it definitely took me by surprise here. And when
I
he
don't
finished
remember
that
if I said
obstacle
this
there
is
with a little bit of a heart
rules,
stopper, you know, it's just
here at
really great to
Motus,
see the innovations come
unfortunately,
through. Again,
we
as the
don't
final
do
competitor, he
redemption
knows what he has to do,
So
and
there
he
would
could
be
have
no
just
redemption.
taken a little bit of a risk-adverse approach, but he really lent into that. And that could be enough to secure him the top spot, but we're going to check the standings here, Alex.
it is not. Oliver Luttman takes home the win. 3 for 3 in World Championships. Now 1 for 1 in Premier Series. I think he has a gauntlet win too. I mean, is there anything this young man hasn't done?
Yeah, and not only, Alex, did he secure that top spot, but I mean, to beat out Ellis by 20 seconds, it is a phenomenal run that we're going to see once again. It's not only just how fast he moves through this course, but how smoothly he does it. It's just, he just has technique that leads beyond the other competitors, and it allows him to dominate on this course.
Yeah, one more look. Unblemished up to the last obstacle. Had plenty of time to beat it. He was the first to attempt it. And, I mean, we haven't seen anyone beat this obstacle yet. We'll see if any of our elite athletes are able to beat it. But Oliver Luttman proving he is right up there with the best.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be excited to see Oliver step up into the elites in future years. And hopefully, perhaps we can look at Ellis's run once again just to celebrate a run that was really an incredible competition against Oliver. You know, Ellis put up a great placement course run, and then coming into the challenge course, he again really put on a display of great pace and great strength. And we see that skip once again, Alex.
I mean, that's the move of the day so far.
I think a lot of the elites are going to be looking at that and being like, oh, cool, okay, I'm going to do that.
unless Donovan comes up with something in the next 45 minutes to try to prevent that.
Absolutely. You can see Ellis putting down a great run there, just coming short of Oliver's time by about 20 seconds, but that's going to secure him in the Premier Series Finals, and he's going to be one to watch when we return in Ferox in November.
Those two will be joined by Jeff Baumgarten and Graham Ogden. And over on the girls' side, we got all 3 through the mandatory 3 obstacles, so all 3 moving on, but I would like to see Kenzie Hughes' run one more time. She was the innovator of the quote-unquote magic trick that we saw a lot of athletes take advantage of in the boys section.
Yeah, and hopefully that was locked into the highlights there. You can see her struggling a little bit on the incline cliffs, an obstacle that took out so many of our early ninjas, but she managed to continue through and onto the flying squirrels here, looking really solid. But yeah, one of the first innovators on obstacle 6. You can see her missing the first time, but then going back for a second time. And we just love to see that. It's something that inspired a lot of moves following that for the teen males.
And then that great save there at the end.
Yeah, you love to see it, Alex. It's all round, so many phenomenal runs there. Just it's such a great teens division.
We will see 7 of our brightest athletes that competed today at Ferox. But coming up next, Jack, it is the return of the world champion, the history maker himself, Tyler Smith. He's been on the sidelines all weekend. He knows the insanity that he's going to have to go up against. This young man became the first athlete to beat all 3 stages at the World Championship in the Elite Division in 8 years of competition. His Stage 3 run got 30 million views on TikTok. That's a 3 followed by 7 zeros. And we're taking a look at that run here.
To be the first ninja in 8 years to do something that only one person can ever claim to do is something phenomenal. So we're going to be so excited to see him gearing up on today's division. And I've seen that TikTok way too many times. It is something to watch. If you are yet to see that run, it's history making.
It was an honor to be the one to call that run. and it is going to be an honor to get to call the inaugural run of his title defense. But he's going up against his training partner and a young man who has been in the top 12 of the last 2 World Championships, Phil Folsom. Many believe that he is one of the best, if not the best ninjas in the world. He trains with the best. He does things that nobody else would even think of. And we're seeing some of the insanity he can pull off here.
Just absolutely mind-blowing what some of these top-level ninjas are able to do. And Phil Folsom is going to be trying to take out his training partner here on this Premier Series. It's going to be a battle of the best here today.
It's going to be so much fun to watch. I mean, just how do you even think of this stuff? Like,
It just takes another level of caliber. And I think that's something, this is going to be probably the most competitive pairing that we've seen all throughout this series. So this is not going to be one to miss. We're seeing those stats thrown down there.
Yeah,
2 phenomenal athletes.
This is from the regular season in Season 8. That is a lot of 100%.
These legends do not know how to fall. They are both equally gifted competitors, both history-making individuals. And I'm excited to see them fare on this Elite Division coming up in just a short bit.
That'll be coming up at 7:15 Eastern Time, 6:15 Central Time is when that stream will go live. 45 minutes from now. Jack, I will see you there. I hope to see all of you at home there. And we will be back to Kansas City for the Elites coming up in just a little bit.
In second place,